Hi, Alex Aves here and with the Arts and Crafts Show. I'm over here at my locker, and last time I pretty much saw my work was 8 months ago when I put everything in storage. And I was able to put together enough work so that when I came back here, I was able to do my first 2 shows without too many problems. I've got enough work available. So, and then I can work during the week, maybe 2 or 3 days during the week before my next show, because in the month of June I got 4 shows in a row, and it's busy. It's a busy time. So you'll notice that I've got a lot of my work right here, and because my work is big, some of it's 8 foot tall, I have to put it into sections. It's a little windy here, so I hope this all turns out okay. It's a nice day. Supposed to get up in the 80s today here in Minnesota. So let's go take a look at my work to my locker really quick. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to pack up for my show right about now, and I'll go through some of my boxes later tonight and check out what I've got. So let's go over here really quick and show you what I've got here. This is all copper work. Sunflower heads come off and then they go back on something like this. I'm going to come in out of the wind a little bit here. So that's a 6 foot water fountain there, all made of copper. Got some of my kinetic sculptures right here. A lot of iron rods that I do with my work. I have to things go into the ground to support my sunflowers. The thing of it is that they come apart for 2 reasons. It's easy for me to get my work to the show and get more work to the show this way, but it's even more important because my customers have smaller cars and they need the things to be broken down a little bit. And it's not much. It's just break it down into 2 or 3 pieces, and then they're able to put it back up at the house. And never a problem that way. Got water fountains over here. Got copper flowers over here. So, what I'm going to do is, I've got about another half an hour here. I'm going to start packing things up in the van because I leave on Thursday. So, just a quick little video I wanted to do for you and show you that. Let's see if I can kind of curl around this way a little bit so you can actually see me. So that's the van right there. That's where I had it at the house. I've got a storage locker here, and the storage locker costs about $50 a month. Not too bad, considering if I had rented a house here and had to keep it all year round, I would worry about it a little bit. Winters here get pretty cold in Minnesota. If you don't already know that, it can get down to minus 40, 50, even 60 degrees, and pipes burst, and I didn't want to be here in the wintertime anyway. I like to be in the tropics. But in the summer here, it can get pretty darn hot. It's been up in the 90s the last couple of days over here. I'm not far from Detroit Lakes, Alexandria, if you know that area. These are larger towns. About an hour east of Fargo, North Dakota, which I've got a show going on over there too. So, I've got everything here already set up. I'll probably take about $13,000 to this next show. And I have a trailer here, which this is where my trailer, when I used to go back and forth to California, I used to fill this up with my work, go do Florida shows, and then I come up to Minnesota and do Minnesota shows. And that's when I decided that I would go ahead and rent a house for 4 months, or like I did in Florida, I rented a house for 2 years, but the house rental back then was $200 a month. And that was my house rental, and it was also my my workshop. Now, one thing I want to mention, when you do get, if you do, go the way of the workshop, which I've got another video about my workshop and my house, that I do welding work. So it's very important that when you talk to the real estate agent, you kind of share the information about what kind of work you do. Because in my particular case, I need to be in a commercially zoned area. Now, the house I have is in a commercially zoned area. If you do work in a residential neighborhood, And I've done that. You just have to be a little bit more discreet about what you're doing. In my particular case, I have gas tanks, oxyacetylene. I bring them out early in the morning. I don't show anybody what I'm doing. I try not to anyway. But people do, they are curious, but they do leave you alone here, so it's not too bad. Anyway, I'm kind of tucked away. Now this is about 10 foot by 10 foot, this locker here. And I've already taken a lot of stuff out, but it's really packed right up to the top. And come September, when it's time for me to head out of Minnesota, I close up the house, put everything in here, pack it up really tight, and lock it up. And then I put my van into storage in town here, not too far. The van is also about $40 a month to put into storage. So, and then my van is full of my work also, and my household stuff, my TVs, and everything like that. So that's what I prefer to do rather than live here all year round. I just prefer to come during the sweet season. If I was going to be doing shows up in Seattle, I would do the same thing. I would go move up there, and I would take a place up there. It depends what you're selling. You need to go where things are the best for you to sell at. Like I know up in Seattle area, it's good for glass, and Portland can be good for clay, and Chicago is good for jewelry, and that's where everybody heads out. Summertime, a lot of us artists, it's a mixture of everybody going there. So pretty much all your work is pretty good, but you got a lot of competition, as I've said before, because a lot of the artists will travel from the Midwest when it's really cold and go down to Florida and do shows down there for a month or two. Again, a lot of them will stay in hotels, and they've already got, a lot of jewelers will go and they'll pack it up tighter. They've got a trailer with them or a small camper, and they'll just kind of camp around. But that campers are pretty expensive also. Camping in an RV park can almost add up to the price of a hotel room. So this is what we've got here again. Just maybe I can show you one more time really quick. I've got my work all set out here, and now it's just got to go into the van. Pack it up really nice and tight. And I have over here, I've got a bunch of looks like a bunch of blankets over here, which I use to layer in between my work to protect my work and to keep the metal from rattling around. And really nice to do something like that if you're going long distances. It muffles the sound when you're traveling down the road. And I do a lot of packing now. I put them in plastic boxes now. Years ago, it used to be all cardboard boxes, but when you're doing a show and it rains and it gets wet, and especially if it's an outdoor show, all those boxes turn into oatmeal. So you really want to go with plastic boxes if you can. Not very expensive, but they will last you. I've had some of these 10, 12, 15 years, So that's what we've got going here. I hope you got a pretty basic idea. When I get all set up at my workshop, probably after the show coming up this weekend, I will go ahead and share with you what my workstation looks like. But I want to be able to take some video of the show at the Edina Art Show, which will be coming up on Friday. So I'll do a video. I'm looking at doing a video, if I get there early enough, on Thursday, what it looks like when everything is emptied out, because you can't start setting up until 6 o'clock on Thursday night. And then a lot of us end up, when it gets dark, because that only gives us about 4 hours to set up. I take 6 hours to set up. I'll be out there 5 o'clock in the morning setting up, getting last minute things done. So that's the way it looks. So anyway, I hope this was interesting. If you want to follow me some more, then subscribe and ring that bell, please. Do some sharing. Have your other friends check this out as well. This is basically artists for artists, craftspeople for craftspeople kind of video. And I'm sharing some of my secrets from my 40 years that I've been in the business for. And I would hope that I can give you some benefits as to, what to do at the shows, and make it easy for your way to make it easy for you when you go to the shows. It's not as such a mystery as some people make it to believe. And but always in the beginning, I'm sure it's going to be a mystery because it's your first time out there or your third time out there, and each show's got its own little rules and regulations. So thanks a lot. Till next time, this is Alex Zays with the Arts and Crafts Show, and I will see you again. Bye.